Thanks. I've left the bike at home this week and I've come out west for a walk, starting from here near Bath, heading towards Trowbridge in the east. And come with me, and let's see if we can find anything of interest along the way. We seem to have got ourselves a bit lost within 20 metres of the start here, somehow. Ah, there we go.
It is that way.
Yeah, that's us. Look at that, that's amazing. Somerset Coal Canal. Oh my God. Listen, I went to Scotland looking for otters and never saw them. That was unbelievable. Oh, just saw a flipping otter. Right down there in the Avon. That was unreal. I think you missed it. Morning. And down below us here we can see the River Avon flowing nicely and the railway line alongside it. Let's get down and have a closer look. This is the 137-metre aqueduct built by John Rennie. You can see there the Bath stone that he used to construct it. And this is the Kennet and Avon Canal, which flows all the way east and joins up with other canal networks, which would have been used for transporting goods and coal and produce way back in the 17th and 18th centuries. In 1954, the canal was closed for a number of years for repair works. And it's said that in the 1960s and 70s, this was perfectly bone dry and you could walk along it. I don't fancy doing that today though. That's better. Now we can get a proper look at this impressive structure. All this made out of Bath stone in a Palladian style. I don't know what that means, but that's what it is. You can see the arches. Oh, it's spectacular it is. There's the high-speed train heading towards Bath, maybe, in that direction. Right, this is absolute newsflash. We have just seen an otter right here in the River Avon. Two otters, in fact. I didn't see the second one. You saw it. Right here, from above, we saw an otter playing around, doing whatever they do. I'm absolutely buzzing with that one. I mean, I went to Scotland where otters are known to be, and I was looking out for them every opportunity. Never saw one. Impossible. Here, look over a bridge, there they are. And as far as I know, otters in rivers is a sign of the good health of a river. We're like 10 minutes into this walk. Fantastic. Here's another view of the incredible Bath stone in a Palladian style. I really don't know what that means, but it looks lovely. This aqueduct is one of two that John Rennie designed back in those days. This is the larger of the two. We're going to cross the second one a bit later on. I think it's called the Avon Cliff Aqueduct, and we'll see how that one compares to this. Oh, here we go. That, I think, yeah, like it says, that's 1797. Yeah. Wow. I don't know if we can see that. 1797. We've got found all these symbols everywhere. Arrows, and that thing, and again there. It makes me wonder if they're anything to do with construction. We've got what looks like font here, look. Looks almost like Roman font, like Times New Roman, actually. Mm-hmm. Come on. There's loads of them up there, look. They're all over the place. They're almost like, it's very hieroglyphic-like, but it must be some sort of coded building system, perhaps?
Star.
Could be anything out here, who knows. Yeah, they did burn a lot of witches this way, didn't they? I tell you what, when they built things back in those days, they didn't mess about. They built them to last. Look at the size of this construction. It's huge. The original bit of over-engineering. Built to last. British. Here's our next one. Well, some sort of bridge. It's a road going over the top, isn't it? But still very impressive. Who's left this here? just pondering over the word Coombe, because everything around here is called Coombe. So let's ask a bit of tech. What does Coombe mean in the West Country of England? Let's see if we get the same results. In the West Country of England, the word Coombe, or Coombe, refers to a small, narrow valley, often one that is sheltered and nestled in a hilly or rolling countryside. The word has Old English and Celtic origins and is commonly used in West Country, especially in countries like Devon, Cornwall, Somerset, where the landscape is full of these natural features. There we go, we've learned something. We've learned what Coombe means. It's a kind of a valley or a winding, irregular area, I guess, where they've built a village or town like this. We are in a dip here, so up high we've got one side of the valley, and probably on the other side, beyond these houses, another side. All right, it's time to check out the local library, as we often do. What do we got in this one? Ooh, needs organising. What we need is a librarian for this one. Look, it still needs a bit of sorting out. We've got a few games. What we got under this one? Expecting to Die. And what we got there? The Second Sister. There you go. There's your local library update. Needs organising, needs a librarian. Fancy a job? It's where they would put local drunks overnight if they were too drunk to make it home. They'd keep them up. Yeah, drunk tank basically. Yeah. Look at that door. That is spectacular. You sober yet? You ready to come out? Either that or it's a 17th century electricity unit. Oh, a little micro jail. Well, I'm assuming it's a jail. I might be wrong, but I'm sure I read that somewhere. Jail behind the Acer. Yeah, I'd go down there on my horse. We're just climbing out of Monkton Coombe, which makes sense because we're going uphill out of the Coombe on this bridleway. We were just pondering over the terms of a bridleway. As far as I understand it, it's obviously a horse-drawn option, and it's open to other forms of self-powered vehicle, I believe, no motorised vehicles, as I understand it. I might check that later and let you know. But yeah, this is the steep climb we're doing right now. That's down, and that is up. So if you want to come walking in the West Country of England, you need to be prepared for this sort of thing. A few steep hills. But I would say it's highly recommended in autumn, because look at these colours, this scenery. You won't get this in summer. When you see these, I like it when you see these ferns at the side like this. You see this in Devon a lot too. Makes me think it's quite tropical. Yeah. It's got that sort of microclimate thing going on. I was just having a little think. I was thinking about, on and off, I think about actors and why they get paid so ridiculous amounts of money. Part of that reason, I think, is because they sometimes, depending on the role, they might have to go through phenomenal training routines to get into shape for a particular role or something. And it makes me think about my life and why I keep myself generally fit, or try to, you know. Why I go out running, why I do a lot of cycling. And the main reason is so I can do things like this. I keep in good shape to make sure that hills like that one, which was what, 200 meters straight up, are still very much achievable. Get to the top, hardly out of breath. It's fantastic, it's well worth it. We're just walking down these little narrow alleys into a little village called Limpley Stoke, which by all accounts is a very interesting little place, full of history. So let's take a look and see what Limpley Stoke can offer. Wow, look at this place. For starters, covered in vines. It's a good start. You know, we do like a few cars on this channel. We're always spotting a few cars here and there. Well, look at this one. We got ourselves a Chrysler. Ooh, look, we left the keys. Look at that beauty. A Chrysler 300. Oh, man. He's got his off-road landy over there. The most bizarre homemade roof rack thing. Oh, there he is. Hello. Just having a look, admiring your vehicles. Loving this one.
Hello.
Hello there. Hello, buddy.
It didn't break down, it failed to start. Right. Hello.
Right. Can you tell us a bit about it? Hang on, we might be in for a bit of a treat here.
Popped it in. And he hated the car when I first got it. No, it's 440 cubic inches.
Right.
So I put these on, but when I went to start it, there was a kind of a ticking, which didn't sound good.
That sounds like a starter motor, maybe?
Well, so whether the connection to the starter motor is...
Now, when did you last start it before that?
I bought it in March, and it has started readily every time until...
And my dad used to like knock it with a block of wood.
Yeah, no,
just to release it and it would start.
Just to wake it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. Yeah.
Of course it's a V8.
Yeah, so it's a 440 cubic inch Chrysler.
Yeah.
Are you recording all this?
Yeah.
Are you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is quality material. We've got to get this. We'll have a proper engine, none of the electric rubbish, eh?
Why didn't it start?
So it's just tick, tick, ticking. It does sound like a lack
really,
of power, lack of battery power.
It really did click, because the battery's good, believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
What a sound.
That's the one.
I'm going to crawl.
Simple as that.
Well,
it'll need tightening properly. But
does.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Are you ready to go?
Really positive, because I started it yesterday morning and I couldn't find him. I shut the door, he was inside.
You are ready for the off, aren't you? Ready for the road? Good boy. Let's have a listen to that burble then back here. There's some V8 power.
Power steering lead. Right. So I put it up on ramps and had a look underneath, and that's when I discovered there is no silencer, it's just a straight through pipe.
Oh,
which is
fantastic.
You have to though, don't you?
Fantastic. What a sound, yeah.
It's a beauty, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's what you want.
But they came by and there was a couple of Americans staying at the hotel saying, hey, we didn't expect to see this.
You've got a Granada, a Ford Granada 2.3 XL. My dad had one of those.
Okay.
I grew up as a kid driving around in one of those.
Right.
My granddad had a Vauxhall Viva.
Yeah.
You got a few Volvo things there. I don't know much about them.
No,
Not yet.
These are cars I banger raced.
Oh, brilliant.
I've still got the engine for the Granada in the shed.
Oh, yeah. I've got my Triumph Dolomite dashboard in my shed.
Have you?
Yeah, the walnut dash with all the clocks in it. Yeah, kept that as a souvenir after I wrote it off.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I have a nose on your Rangy? Because I just noticed the back of it. You've chopped it all up and
Well, this is
made it into a truck.
Yeah.
Look at
My
that.
dear son, who wants to be a sign painter, or rather is a sign painter, I let him have the sides so he could paint them as a travelling billboard.
Yeah.
He painted the wrong side. He assumed the smooth side was the outside. So I felt terrible breaking it to him, and he felt terrible that he'd made what he calls a rookie error. And she used to eat the seat belts, and she also ate the seats, so it was easy to turn it into a van. I'll have it removed, and they didn't believe her. And so I took it. Blue, stop. He's becoming amorous. There's more being amorous than being an affectionate colleague. Hey, Blue boy. Hey, Blue boy. Hey, Blue.
Oh boy.
So
I'm under attack.
So it lies.
What's your name, by the way?
I'm Dave.
Dave, it's nice to meet you, Dave.
Well,
I'm Jason, other hand. There we go. It's great to meet you. This is Duncan, and
Okay, Duncan.
we're having a lovely walk today. So, well, that was a nice result. We just met Dave, the car mad banger racer, who managed to get his old Chrysler started for us, so we could hear that V8 burble, and how lovely it was. And look at this. Let's get out and have a look from the viewpoint. So this must be the Avon again, I guess.
Yes.
Any otters? Any otters? Part of this walk involves passing through empty fields like this. Just there by that tree line you can see, that's the River Avon meandering its way along. And this side by this tree line, Kennet and Avon Canal So the Kennington Avon Canal runs along there at a higher level than the River Avon just down there. You've really got to get out, you know, all times of the year. This country looks spectacular at different times of the year, and hey, why not do it in autumn? You can come across some shrooms like these little beauties. You need to know what you're doing with shrooms.
And that's where we leave it on this one. I'll be back next week to continue the walk, where things get more interesting and a lot more historic. I'll see you then.